get 3. Okay, we have Will Denton with imps. It's a bit of a shame. Some form of Talos that has too many things. Sweeper Arcus and Cleanse Seraph. But we've got Steel Enhancers. Wow, Steel Enhancers and Will Denton's cards are really strong against Seraph. Early Welder Help is okay. Roots, sure, find one. Oh, Forever Flame. Jackstrips, though. It's got to be Jackstrips, right? Okay, so Forever Flame means we can keep Stuarts and play the imps at 0 cost. Which is actually pretty big. But if we start -1ing the root seeds anyway, we just play them out. I think I'm going to take the Jackstrips. Let's take more trials. Quick is pretty good. Yeah, I think Protect Predator. And we just want to see all the units. And because of Jackstrips, we don't care. Like, we just don't care, right? It's even better. We're already killing that one. Oh, it could have been stead. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's the exact same. Steel Enhance is pretty gross here. Like, it just... so much damage. I don't like taking Steel Enhancer, but I like it as a starting, like a starter pair. Glimmer's interesting. I mean, if we get we've got two choices here. We either go for a sweeper or we go for a multi-striker. And both are good options, right? And then Glimmer's either... Does Glimmer ever get in the way? We want to -1 the root seeds as well, but I want to hit this Awoken banner. Unless we get a unit straight away. Like, it's pretty much a 2-unit run. What's Glimmer doing that Jackstrips isn't doing? Very little. No. Hidden Passage, though. That can manipulate stuff. There's the sweeper. However... does it have to go in the front? If it does, then we just want to put health on it. And we don't care about its damage. And then Wildenton has to... I'm going to take it. Because it does solve a problem. And Wildenton can just go at the back, right? The only question is, would I take Animus? It's a maybe. Does Husk Hermit just do enough? See, Husk Hermit's better because it's already thicker. And we don't need the higher damage on the sweeper. Straight away. Well, that's the thing, it's quick. So we're looking for more, like, as much hit points then. That way we just put all the damage on the dude at the back. For when it comes down to multi. So the Husk Hermit's already got an extra 20 hit points. But we could just get 225s on the other one. You put... It's a really tough call where you put the +2s on Wildenton when he... well, for now you put the +2s on the sweeper. Once you get Wildenton up to multi-strike, then he gets the +2s. A strong shell that triggers slays and everything is nice. It's got 20 less hit points. So it's not the damage output we're looking for protection. If we'd gotten an Animus, then Wildenton would be the tank. So it just comes down to, does that plus damage? How does it help us? It's kind of like a multi-strike on stuff at the start. It is a multi-strike, right? Do we even need... Now, here's the thing, though. Do we need the sweeper if Jackstrips is doing its job? Yeah, bosses. I wonder if I played that wrong with jack strips. No, I mean there'll be some units that get through. The Seraph fight though. Small units are light wings. So they die on the unless the one Seraph puts down. Alright, I got an idea. Oh, that went on the wrong unit. Well, that plan goes out the window. That was supposed to go there. And I don't think it's gonna. I think I shouldn't have got anything. Hold over ascend to create a party floor with hull on front. No, that's bad. I got nothing to heal the hollows up, and I don't have one. And if I was going to pick one, I've got no way of healing them to full health. So the dumb plan, which I think is a dumb plan, was to actually put large on this one and make that large quick on the bottom floor and start ramping that. But it's just dumb. Also, now I might not be able to put them on the same floor, so I have to put this here and you have to have health. I think I'm trying to get too fancy. I think all I needed to do was not take that, because I already had that. No. Take this, just put health on it and more health on it, throw that in the trash, and focus on the spells. Like, I've got jack strips for a reason. I didn't even need a sweeper. I probably shouldn't have picked the other plant at all. I should have taken the 10 gold from the trial instead of the first sweeper. And I should have taken 10 gold from the next banner. I don't say fancy pants for nothing, that's right. Wait, they say that? Hazelbuzz, my dude, with the 33 months.
3 times 11 is 33. That's fantastic. All these crazy months watching Panztastic, taking 10 gold to give to the banner. Pants a big G. There is nothing the matter.
Ah, oh, my dude. My dude. And so many kind words. We could have well to help it at first. Ah, it's over there. It might be pants, but you're sure they mean pants. That's fair. You bean bees, what's going on, man? Been happy in your own space? That's good. Yeah, been good, man. Things good. Razor sharp. I mean, it could take rage, but it's idiot, right? No point trying to push that. Just focus with razor sharp and steel enhancer. Okay. Let's go over here. Get rid of those idiots. Do like a -1 there. Reroll for a -1 there. Five times Jupa root seeds. Interesting. You guys want me to take Dante? You finished Hyrule Warriors? Nice, how was it? Yeah, it's good to take a bad thing every now and then. And then if you do well with it, you could be like, okay, we did okay. We just scraped by, so not worth taking it again. We die because we're going to have 10 card hands, and they're all going to be filled with rage cards. That sounds reasonable. I have a razor sharp on Wildenton, yeah, that's right. And Wildenton's quick. What could go wrong? Yeah, we could draw 10 cards, and 5 of them could be curses, and then we have to play them so that we don't die. Yeah, that's what could definitely go wrong. So we have to take energy. No, we just have to take energy because Dante's bad and puts bad cards in your hand. Zero Frame, you new to the game? What's good with Stygian? Like what cards, what artifacts, what enemies? What would you like to know about? Poor idiot, just got wrecked. If you root a non-boss enemy when the floor is frozen, do they die?
Yep.
Okay. If you like that started and you're just starting to learn, it's probably best not to try and find something that very specifically works. It's tempting because then you can try to focus on that, but you're probably not going to do well if you can't find the pieces. The game's really good in the respect that it's got just enough pieces to make it feel different most of the time, but not so much that like there's just so many and you can never get stuff together. You should be able to, after a while, evaluate the game from the start, what the enemies are, when you go further, you'll get extra difficulty modifiers as you get wins. And one of the best ones that I've seen in a lot of games is the very first one. Add additional random cards to your starting deck. So you get given two cards, a pair of cards from your primary clan and your allied clan, and then another single card from your primary clan. So we started this run with 2 Steel Enhancers from Awoken clan, and 2 Welder Helpers from Hellhorned, because they're both... Welder Helper's not uncommon. Not uncommon. They're both common cards. Oh yeah, sorry. So you get a pair of common cards from each, and then we got an uncommon card. What did we get as the uncommon card? Oh, and Snare from Awoken. So that gives you a little bit of a... You can either choose to sort of go in that direction and find some synergies with those. Sometimes they're not the best cards, but they're good if they're already given to you type of deal. Yeah, I like the pacing on the Covenants here too. So part of that is just trying to work with the game as what the game gives you. If you go in with a plan before you start, it's going to be really hard to get that plan to happen. It might happen occasionally, but not a lot. That's only good for bosses on Wildenton. I mean, we could use it not on Wildenton's floor, but I don't think we need to. I'm not going to adaptive mutate either, and... I wonder if we actually... Is there any adaptive options somewhere? Probably not, right? I don't know. And I definitely wouldn't be using this run I'm doing as a reference, because I talked myself into... Oh man, there's an Animus. We got Dante coming. I talked myself into a bad decision early on. We need energy because we have Dante. Adaptive mutation for Dante. It doesn't swap the number of multi-strikes he has or whatever. So we just need to... Well, we're thinning the deck down, right? I'm definitely not taking that now. Yeah. We just take Hellbong over plating. I don't think it matters. And we need to take the best... We'll take Thornlord, because that'll end up giving us the... Because we've got Dante as the damage, Thornlord will give us the most hit points. Since Wildenton's going to be tank. We've got energy now, so we don't have to get rid of stuff. But we're still going to get rid of Stewarts. We don't have to, we could play them, but since we've got free removals. I think for beginner players, I'd definitely say if you're playing Awoken, or if you got Stygian as your main, Tethys is a tough one. If you're played the game a bit and you're not winning on the early Covenants to start with because you're getting into card games or roguelikes, Stygian's probably going to be a bit harder to get a grasp on. Whereas for someone that's very experienced in other deck builders, Stygian's probably the easiest to get hold of first. I'd suggest like an Awoken main start. With either Hellhorned or Stygian Secondary. Is probably a nice one to get you rolling on wins and getting you further in the circles to see what the rest of the game has to offer. Spikes is a very beginner-friendly build. As both the champion and like the Thorn Hollow. Do we care if they're multi-striking? Oh, I've got dudes. I don't really care if they're multi-striking. Yeah, but getting boss kills in that's a lot tougher for beginners, Chromo. Where's Dante? Dante! Probably should have... No, it doesn't matter. I can't kill off my own dudes anyway, can I? Oh, I can razor sharp him. I'm lifting, so he may as well just be there. One of the best spell weakness runs is the like an unconsumable ice storm with Gifts Regard. That's not cool. Thanks, Dante's Candle. You're the best. Totally worth being in my deck, too. I could have let that other one go before. I've got Hellbomb. Crud. Can I get a second hit in on this guy? Let's do that there. I'd have to put both of them there, and I don't really want that. There we go. No, so you put consume on it, and then you unconsume it. Hey, you got Rage Tails, but we've got Thingy and we're not taking Rage anyway, so I'm going to take the 25 gold. Right, and then Gifts Regard won't consume it. So you just keep building it up. And it's a 5 times hit. You can easily get over 100 plus, because all the other spells start start consuming. Why consume and unconsume? Because Gifts for a Guard consumes it otherwise. That's why I said it's fun to do this with Gifts for a Guard. Because by having unconsume, it means Gifts for a Guard won't unconsume it, and it's plus spell power every time you play it. So it gets stronger and stronger and stronger every time you play Gifts for a Guard and draw it. And it hits 5 times. So you're increasing it by 5 times. And then you're also playing Spell Weakness Tethys on the bottom floor to do triple damage a hit. And if you've got a big tank, you can end up with like 30 stacks of Spell Weakness and a card that does 200 damage a hit 5 times. You know, so it's it becomes a 1,000 damage card that does, you know, you do like 30,000 damage with it. I think someone's got a post somewhere where they did almost 60k on Seraph with it. Important Work usually just draws the card it replaces, but the 2 energy is super good here since we've got Dante's stupid candles. Alright, we get the Cloak as well, which is 2 magic power, which is kind of okay, but Dante's still a jerk. Yeah, 2 power per blight. Sorry. When we have no spell damage. We don't have consumable cards, and we get very little armor. I mean, you probably could take it for the World Helper, or maybe we take the armor card. I'd definitely take an armor card, because that's like an extra 9 health. And it's an incant. And I think because we're just trying to avoid a lot of stuff. Hold over Root Seeds, hold over Steel Enhancer. I've got stings, that's right. Thornlord gives us 3 stings. We also want to make sure we hit a Merchant of Steel. We want to give health. We probably need to give health to Dante, actually. We could... with this deck, we could go multi on him, which is usually bad. You want to give him normally plus 10 and plus 10, so that you put him down and he's just firing 100 damage straight away. But we could give him a little bit extra, because we could go for like 1 multi with him, and a plus 10, so he's got 60. Because it's not going to be long once you start putting like a Steel Enhancer. I still think we're putting Steel Enhancer on front unit just for the health. Because once you hit Dante with a Razor Sharp or 2, then you're just as front. Yeah, so that's the other thing. So a plus 25 is good because you can hit him with a Razor Sharp, and that's a big boost. Whereas the plus 10's like having that straight away. You know, and we have Steel Enhancer, so we can kind of balance. But I think the health's pretty good anyway. Getting him like, so plus 25 and a plus 10. I guess we don't need to be greedy on the damage. With the plus 2s, he's going to get up to there pretty quickly. And I think that's the issue. Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to give him health anyway because there's a sweeper, but we're going to kill the sweepers. I think that's what we need to be doing, is we need to be killing stuff straight away. You can even hold over Razor Sharp. It might actually be the better play. What do? You only get it out 10 times a game. As long as I don't kill him with it. Just don't kill him with it, Panz. Thweeper, no thweeping. If I can remember Anvil, I can do this. No, Chromo was mentioning the fact that if I could remember Anvil, because last time I couldn't, I could do this. That's very true. Dante, you've arrived. Probably should have put a +2 on him. Almost definitely should have already put a +2 on him. Oops. I'm about to say, is there a razor sharp somewhere that I didn't know about? These guys are great in this challenge because their armor doesn't rejuvenate, so they're really weak little enemies when by the time they get to the top in this sort of situation. Now it is a sweeper boss, so I've got to make sure I don't actually reduce Dante too much here, and also want to kill him. Which means there's no point spending energy on that. Let's just... Sweeper boss sweeps for 9, right? Yeah, I have the 2-1 guy with him, so I have to push this guy up. And we get 2 hits in though. So we can sweep the 2-1 away, that's fine. Only buffed to 11. The 2-1's worse with Self-Made Harpy. There's no Steel Enhancer in there, so I don't want to go again. But we're looking at what do we got. We get 2 shots in, remember, because we're quick. So as long as we stay above the number... That's like 12 times 45 plus Wildenton. Yeah, cool. So just play the candles and do nothing else. Maybe play a Sting. Play the Root Seeds. Hey, we got a bubble. So in the Circle 5 fight, if we get the stealth boss instead of the sweeper boss that we just had in the current Circle 5 fight, we could remove all... So the only thing this could do is... No, that's a silence. Spell shield, if we take a spell shield trial in Circle 7. We channel song Dante? We've got too many imps and other stuff. Like, we're just going to draw an imp. Is channel songing an imp a problem? I'd rather have the 10 gold. Branding right. I just want the 0 cost armor card. I'd take that. How many imps do I have? 7? And flame sounds good for Dante. He doesn't need the armor that bad. Alright, thanks for the 7 biddies for the 7 imps. Okay, does Dante have enough health where we can just go with steel enhancers? Do I just go plus 10 multi on him instead of the plus 25? 10 attack is beast for him, right? Like, that's almost a guarantee because it starts him off on such a huge amount of damage. You can't guarantee getting razor sharp so soon. I mean, we've got a small deck for the amount of cards we draw. You're going to draw 8 cards turn 2 because of the stings. But I think the plus 10 is just we don't need to be greedy. So it comes down to whether I go for another multi-strike or I look for health. We do have steel enhancers, but I think the steel enhancers I want to be putting on Thorn Guy. Yeah, there's a graph you can do for the multi-strike versus the extra damage, and they cross paths as you go up through damage cards, where the multi-strike is worth more, but by the time you get to that stage, you've probably already won. No, I don't want a large stone Dante. I can't put him behind Wildenton. But we've got a ton of money, so I may as well, like, where can I put this to make it do better stuff early? And there is pretty good. There is also pretty good, but I would need to put health, but I want health for Dante. So that goes there. And you can have that one. And I don't think it's going to do anything, and everyone else doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, cool. So that's full. So we have Harvest if something dies, which kind of sucks. We've got Imps and Incant, which Incant can be really bad. And it could whiff. The worst time is Incant top floor right now, because I'm about to get stings, and I want to play them. I mean, playing him there is not bad. Is it worth the 1 incant here for a sting? Yes, it is. So this is the reason why we didn't need to do this, is even though she's quick now, she wasn't before. And these are all dying. don't get to put Dante behind anyway. Let's get rid of that. Play that. So Dante's now doing a ton of damage. Let's go ahead and armor you. You're still going there. You know, raw damage goes to Dante. +3s for health gone. So we need to lift him now. That way we're getting the incants as well as duping Dante with Mind Reflection. Yeah, so damage here. So if Dante was up the top, we'd be getting an extra damage off Wildenton. That's not as valuable as what's going on right here. He gains on Rage. Do I care about his Slay Rage? I want to draw an extra card. I don't care about his Slay Rage, I just want to get rid of that. Did I not play that on one of the turns? This time of year, Slay Rage is a serious issue. That's fair call. C25 looks rough. Yes. Yes, it is. Most of the modifiers you get used to. Dante's on 69. Oh. That's a harvest, so I don't really want that, whereas I don't care for his rage. So we'll put that there. They're going to harvest her anyway. Let's go with that and not get harvested. Ten is the toughest one. That's units placed on the top floor get 1 days. And I think that's the hardest thing to get used to, because you have to plan ahead for collectors. You've got to be really thinking about the trials where units start on each floor. 1k Seraph health. I think a lot of people think that until, like, when you get the hang of it. Sure, you'll get some runs where you fall, you know, a couple hundred either side, but most of the wins are just smashed out of the park. I think that can also be a downside where, like, it just shows you don't need that level of damage. Like, the times that we have enough damage and hit points to kill 20 Seraphs. What stream rewards plugin? I've just got the Twitch standard one, and then my bot keeps points as well, but we're not actually using anything on that at the moment because the Twitch one took over. He did the maths wrong, Arrow. That's okay. We'll forgive Arrow this time. We're just good here. Does he even get it? Can we prevent him from getting a hit in? Can we one-shot? Hey, we one-shot. The second dead weight, you tend to go for thin decks. So thin decks are good for consistency, but then you've got Seraph. Then you've got fights that that makes Dante a lot worse, right? Because you're going to get his blights more often. But then you've got like Consume Seraph that you start that fight with an extra 2 blights. If you can't deal with Scourge Birds, don't care for any of this. You know, those are extra blights. I still think smaller decks are easier to deal with than like over-bloated decks, though. Yeah, I think we're energy here, right? Like, we just want to make sure we're playing. Yeah, space is an option, but I think I just want to make sure I'm playing the cards. Space and dupe Dante. Could almost dupe Dante anyway. Not like the 2k had with Sludge. That was unique though, and it was one turn. I mean, I had a 5k hit with, almost 5k hit with Hellhorned Prince. We're full health. We don't need anything free artifact. I can definitely just lift him up. I can also put him behind. I can put 2 of them on a floor, right? And put something in front of them. Like, we're already at the stage where this is... Wow. Where this is going full meme. Like, we're just gonna have this party floor, this insane party floor. That, Does it even come close now? Yeah, you had that massive Brawler Prince one. Railsback could hit Dante's candles and then we'll have way too much energy. Yeah, the other thing, Arrow, is that it depends when you get it. Like, so you're not, the problem is you're looking at the damage against the output on the last fight, and that's the wrong way to do the maths. It's how quickly can you get the damage output so you don't leak anything while still being able to get enough damage to kill a boss. And sometimes those two things line up with each other. Do I even care? Do we need money? Chat, do we need money? I think we need nothing. The flat damage even on paper is better? Yeah. That's a bit sucky. Okay, so you have to go out. We don't need his incants, right? We just don't care for them. I should have put this on one of the little guys. Because I wouldn't mind drawing the extra card, but I don't want him staying there. Bye. One of these is Dante, right? I haven't duped him yet. One of them is a candle. Good thing that little imp's getting his 1 damage up in there. I should have also cast the spike on top floor. Yeah, good job, Spike. You know what you did. I could have started lifting those. Oh, wait. Why don't I cast Ascend on myself for incants? If it was when I was casting it on someone else, it was to move that unit around for specific reasons. If it was not played at all, then I probably should have cast it. But then I've got to draw it again. And it's not the best incant, whereas like Root Seeds is worth more than an incant on Thornlord. Or Steel Enhancer for the +3 health is worth more than 1... Oh, it's 2 damage now on Thornlord. Why not Ascend Sweep from mid to top? Because the birds that Sweep was killing deal 5 damage on death, and I didn't want those going into Wildenton, and I don't care for the damage output that Sweep's doing. Because I want as much health on Wildenton to keep Dante alive for as long as possible. Because she hits hard. So like in this situation where there's nothing else happening, and I think we're going to be out of cards. Let me check. Yep. Casting the holdover here is great. Right? We get a bonus to attack to Wildenton. But it has holdover. So on turns where we're drawing again, we might not want to draw it again. So the turn that when there was Respite coming, then the boss is coming next, we can deal with those 2 guys in front. I didn't need to lift them or anything. So the holdover's not really doing anything except giving us 2 damage. And 2 damage on our tanks, you know, compared to the what do we got? 630 damage we're doing here. We've got to prioritize getting, and this is ×6. So every time we draw a Root Seeds and put it on here, that's an extra 12 damage and 2 for the incant. Stings is an interesting one, though. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, how many times in the fight are we drawing low? It does get to, like, it can come back, can bounce and stuff, right? The biggest issue here is Ember Drain, but I don't think we've got that issue. Like, from our sweepers, it just doesn't matter. And if we ascend our sweepers, then they'll take care of that anyway. And top floor is not getting hit by it. And all of our stuff costs 0, except for Dante's candles. So this is where we need to probably play this fight differently. I might even want to get rid of our shells and stuff now, or just not play them. But if I'm not playing with them, I don't want them in my hand. What's the min-max point? So you don't need min-max methods, and I think that's the thing a lot of people struggle with. If you go for min-max, you could lose. Right? You need to stay alive. And so sometimes that means getting less output, because it's the thing, like dead DPS doesn't do any damage. So if you pre-calculated from the start, assuming that you kill everything, you only have to deal with the boss. So you need to get Dante. The first thing you need to do is get Dante high enough where you're going to be killing all the enemies coming through, since we're quick, and not take any damage. And I think with the, so you could, to play it the safest possible, you probably just punch everything into Dante first, and then start putting into Wildenton. But you're probably going to miss out on some health that way. Yeah, Wildenton needs to be multiples of 30 plus 1. So that March of Shields is really interesting. That lets us pull a sweeper up and push it forward, which is a fairly decent damage output. Right, because you sweep across everything first. Whereas before we were lifting up units and the sweep was at the back. It also gives us another tank. Right, and the armor's really good, so with that we could definitely put the +3 into Dante without even worrying. Yeah, I'm definitely duping Dante, right? Yeah, the other thing too is you can put Dante on 31 hit points, right? You should get both in the final circle. Don't you? Don't you? Is there a configuration where you don't get both? Man, I got like 1,000 hours in this game, I still don't know that. I'm pretty sure out of the 7 things, they're always there like that, right? You get a merchant either side and trinkets in the middle. And then sometimes you get boons and pyre on the same side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's always this time. And the only thing that's different is, obviously you could have these merchants could be swapped, but the other thing is you can get both unstable, like both vortexes, whether it be the unstable and the hellvent on the same side, or you can have them crossed like this. Oh, I need to go with dupe. So merchant of magic anyway, which is good because we're not going to merchant of steel. Yeah, I didn't even take that. Don't need the health, but the Dante dupe is a definite thing. We just want to get him out sooner and up behind Wildenton. Take that. Check the trinkets. I don't know what we'd possibly take. Not spikes, not magic power. Improved firebox is a maybe, but I doubt it. We play the stings. We don't care. No. Talk myself out of that one. Don't have anything that'll hit. Don't want to be doing that. Don't want the stings. There we go, that Ember Drain. Put a -1 on that. Ember Drain is done. Permafrost is strange because if we can consistently draw 10, we don't want to permafreeze a card that we don't want to play anymore. Remove Consume Unawakens. Oh, we don't need the free candles because everything else we're playing doesn't cost anything. Except for units. Once the units are played, we don't care. So this is going to draw out one of two ways, where we either get the cards we need to get damage out early and it doesn't matter, or we get the armor cards up early and then it doesn't matter. We're full health and we've got Jackstrips and a Hellbong, so the only issue with Leakies is they hit Wildenton first. Again, I don't think it matters. And Wildenton Thornlord, because of stings, top floor thing doesn't matter either. Like, a lot of it just doesn't matter. If I draw 2 Dantes, I don't want them both there anyway. Still punching in here. That's the. Let's get her up and she goes to the front. Dante goes out. We go +3s on Dante's now because I can even hold that one there. Hold him there for now. Could have lifted Seraph for a bit of damage as well. But that's alright. That was a good one. Seraph goes here. We lift Seraph again. If we root the pyre, I don't think it matters. Then we lift it the turn afterwards. Or we can keep rooting. It'd be nice if we could keep rooting. Yeah, jackstrips for moving enemies is pretty good. So this got a little out of hand. I wonder if there's like an Ascend, Dripfall, Votivary. You'd need like Forever Flame. You're already looking at too many things. And Wax a Snuffer. And the +10 on brought back the 10, like the yellow tetrahedron thing. Yeah, you just start lifting Votivaries. You probably don't need an Ascend, right? Play the Ascend, Votivary gets lifted and dies. Oh, it doesn't die, it's Jackstrips, it's your own. You need Jackstrips to affect your own units. That'd be pretty cool. Do I not have any imps left? Literally unplayable. Ascend Seraph. Oh no. Alright, cards here. Multi 5. Shame it doesn't say ×5 here. Dante is too good to skip. No. We were able to deal with the candles because we'd already had a couple -1 cards, I think. Like that's the issue. Is the Circle 3 fight either Daedalus or Talus you need to be able to be okay with the candles. And you need to, going forward from that play stage, be okay with the candles afterwards. So one fight, sure, fine. But if you start refining your deck and pulling pieces out and making things consume, putting units on the board, and you're drawing the candles more often, you need to be okay with that. Wildenton's decks are really strong, working in general, because having -1 on the root seeds, you get to buff a unit, which is generally pretty good damage-wise, and you're drawing an extra card next turn, so you can start consistently drawing 6 or 7. That can, that could be a downside if you can't play the candles, but if these are costing, so if these are costing 1, you either play this or a candle, or you play a couple of these for 1 this turn, and then you draw into multiple candles next turn, and you're like, man, it's 6 damage. I can't take 6 damage. So you play the candles, but that's 2 of your energy. So that's the thing. And sometimes and because of the extra draw, they play really well with energy. So normally you don't have to take energy. You can just -1 them, take a single draw pick or even a capacity and play out. With the candles, we did both. We made them -1 and we took energy, and that was how we solved it. I think if you only do one of those, you can have some problems. Yeah, and with Hellhorned at an Ascend with Dante, and you can get a couple units up there to protect him, or in this case 2 Dantes. It's pretty easy win. Like the second Dante, not necessary, not needed at all to beat the boss. But you put him up top. We'd gotten 1 Razor Sharp on him, so he's now 6 times 30, give or take. He's somewhere in between there. He's doing between 150 and 180 damage. The second Dante goes up, they get a Razor Sharp. Now you got 2 units doing between 150 and 180 damage. That's pretty close to killing any line that's going to come through. So you're not leaking. Most of the time you've got to worry about your tank having armor at the front, but with Wildenton, that's, if you've got quick, that's kind of okay, right?